What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Scarlet Karibo, and today we are going over the Evil Hero deck profile. So this is an Edison deck, so that means that you're going to be able to use this with the other 2010 cards, and we have a lot of really classic Edison staples, so let's get right into it. First things first, we have 2 copies of Evil Hero Malicious Edge, as well as 2 copies of Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy. Both these cards are going to be the titular cards of the deck. Using the Evil Heroes in here in the main deck is going to be able to summon us out the Evil Heroes in the extra deck that we're going to cover in just a second. So, what do these cards do? Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy is a free special summon. As long as you don't have a monster, you special summon it out. And as well, if you use this for a tribute summon of a hero monster, you get to draw a card in the end phase. So it's kind of like a special summon and a recursive loop. Very powerful tech card. No one used this back in the day, but here it is now. We got 2 copies of Malicious Edge. This one is a 1 tribute if you have a monster on your opponent's field. As well, it has Pierce. So 2600 attack points with Pierce is going to make it a very powerful beatdown card. To continue on with the heroes, we got 1 Neos Alias, 1 Stratos, 1 Ocean, 1 Prisma, as well as 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Now, this is going to be an Edison Hero Suite. You're going to see these in every single hero deck in Edison. This is limited. This is going to get you the Absolute Zero as a fusion target. This is a beatdown card. This card, Prisma, is going to be able to send your Evil Hero Maliciouses, put it in your graveyard so you can use it later for some fusion summons. And then Malicious is going to be really good for synchro plays, not for fusion plays. It's really good because you can use it with Plague Spreader Zombie in your grave. You can basically, for free, just summon out a level 6, level 8, whatever you're looking for. Moving forward, we got 1 copy of Neospatian Grand Mole. Now this seems a little weird, he's not an evil hero. Part of me likes to use this because this is a Supreme King card. You know, Jaden likes the Neospatians, but the real reason that we have Grand Mole is to have some rock targets, like Morphing Jar, Gigantes, and Big Piece Golem. So, rock cards are really important to be able to summon out our Evil Hero Dark Gaia. The only fusion material it needs is a Fiend and a Rock. So you can use one of these strong Fiend monsters with 2600 attack points, and you can add it together with one of the other rock monsters like Big Piece Golem. This monster is going to have 4700 attack points. It's actually unbelievable, so we want to use a lot of these cards to have a beatdown style strategy to our deck. We're also going to use 1 copy of Plague Spreader Zombie, this is an Edison staple, as well as Caius, the Shadow Monarch, and Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. Now these are more Fiend targets, so you can use them for the summon of your Dark Gaia, but additionally, they're also really powerful cards. Caius is going to be one of the best cards in Edison Format. You can summon it out, banish any card on your opponent's field, and if you banish a Dark Monster, you get to burn 1000. Sometimes you win off that. And then Gores, what's there more to say about Gores? The only reason we play Edison is so we can use Gores. Moving forward to the spells, we are going to use 1 Emergency Call, 1 Reinforcements of the Army. These are just consistency pieces. We're going to use 3 copies of Dark Calling. This is going to be the Evil Hero Fusion card. We're going to be able to use monsters in the graveyard or monsters in the hand. So if you have like a Gores in your hand and throughout the duel you sent a Malicious Edge to your grave, your Dark Calling is going to be able to fuse them together to summon out your Malicious Fiend for free. Very, very powerful card. And Dark Calling we're going to use a 3 of just so we can get it as much as possible. Same reason as Miracle Fusion. We're playing a hero deck. Of course we want to use Miracle Fusion. The primary target for this one is of course going to be Absolute Zero using Ocean. You can also use something like Elemental Hero Gaia. There's a bunch of different cards that you can use for Miracle Fusion. As well as Future Fusion. Future Fusion is a very powerful card. We're going to talk about this card in just a second, but the target that we're going to be using for Future Fusion mostly is Elemental Hero Divine Neos. So what cards are you sending off of Future Fusion? Now that seems a little weird to summon Divine Neos, right? Divine Neos has some very specific requirements. You need to send a Neospatian, as well as a Neos monster. You need to send a hero. You need to send a couple more heroes, and we may as well send our Malicious Edge to the grave. Now, why are we sending these 5 targets? This and this automatically complete your power for Dark Gaia with Dark Calling. Malicious in grave is really powerful because it's going to be able to banish itself and special summon a new Malicious. Ocean and Alias Engrave with Miracle Fusion, that is a free Ab-Zero. So we can see how Future Fusion, we don't really need the Divine Neos, we just need it as targets to set up our graveyard. Very, very good card. And we're going to make sure that we have 1 copy of Future Fusion It's also really good because that was an Edison card. We got some back row removal. We got 1 Giant Trunade, 1 Heavy Storm, and 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. All 3 of these cards, very powerful, very important. Back row is super impressive in Edison. Trap cards, and specifically Royal Oppression, they're really tough to get around. We're going to use 1 Reasoning, 1 Gold Sarcophagus, and 1 Foolish Burial. So these are all more consistency pieces. This one's going to be able to set up your grave. This one's going to be able to fish out one of your fusion cards. You usually want to get Future Fusion, but you can also get Dark Calling or Miracle Fusion. Reasoning is going to be able to get you a free summon. We have a bunch of different levels in the deck, so your opponent can't really guess which level they're going to be using. So we like to use Reasoning as well. Moving forward to the traps, I like to use 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Scrap Iron Scarecrow, 1 Dark Bribe, 1 Starlight Road, 1 copy of Wall of Revealing Light, 1 copy of Torrential Tribute, and 1 copy of Mirror Force. You can't go wrong with any of these trap cards. They're all really good. Dark Bribe, Mirror Force, Starlight Road, Torrential Tribute, those are the only ones you need for Edison. Everything else is kind of just fun splashes. Let's move on into the extra deck. So, starting off, we're going to go over the cards that we just talked about. We're going to use 3 copies of Evil Hero Malicious Fiend. Now, Malicious Fiend has an ability, kind of like Yubel, where your opponent has to attack it, so it's really good. 3,500 attack points is going to make it really hard to get over. As well, we're going to be using 2 copies of Evil Hero Dark Gaia. So, like I said before, Dark Gaia only needs a rock and a fiend, and then Malicious Fiend over here only needs Malicious Edge and a level 6 or higher fiend, which is basically the rest of them. So these cards are very easy to summon off of your Dark Calling spell card, and they're going to be big boss monsters. Dark Gaia usually is going to be summoned out to the field with at least 3,000, sometimes 4,000 attack, and then Evil Hero Malicious Edge starts out 35. Dark Gaia has a very powerful effect. This card's one of the best cards in the deck, because if your opponent has a Raikou set, you attack it, the monster gets flipped up into attack position, the flip effect does not go off, and then you get to burn them for so much damage. This card swings the entire sway of the game. Lastly, we're going to use 1 copy of Divine Neos, 1 copy of Gaia, and 1 copy of Ab-Zero. These are all going to be good targets. These are Miracle Fusion targets. This is our Future Fusion target. And that's going to be our Fusion Suite for the deck. Next up, we have the Synchros. I like to use 1 copy of Ally, 1 copy of X-Saber Wayne, because we're using a lot of warriors, 1 copy of Bryonic Supersonic, 1 copy of Goyo Guardian, X-Saber Urbellum, so we have a level 7, Colossal Fighter for some more warrior support, and the one and only Stardust Dragon. So, this is going to be the main deck for the Evil Heroes. The big strategy is going to be able to use Future Fusion with Divine Neos. Starlight Road can summon out your Starlight Dragon for free. Colossal Fighter and Goyo Guardian are really powerful synchro cards. They're always going to come in handy. Malicious Fiend and Dark Gaia are really powerful boss monsters for the deck. They kind of make or break the entire strategy. And who doesn't like summoning Elemental Hero Ab-Zero? So that's the deck. That's the Evil Hero strategy for Edison. Thank you guys so much for watching. What do you think of the deck? How do you feel about the Evil Heroes? It's a deck that isn't really used too often, and I'm actually really proud of myself. I've been building this and tinkering this for a long time. Right now, this is by far my favorite strategy to run in Edison. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.